The Mercy Fleet Part 4, When Kings Devour Kings. The first exchange destroyed 63 ships. The Dominion fired in disciplined volleys, concentrating its dreadnought cannons against the largest Karad vessels. The Karad answered with living torpedoes that attached themselves to enemy hulls, burrowed through armor, and detonated inside crew compartments. The corridor became a field of burning wreckage. Jalen stood on the bridge of the Resolute, watching the armies that had come to destroy Ephara tear into one another. No one celebrated. The scale of the destruction was too great, and the Epharan fleet remained trapped between forces that could erase it almost incidentally. "Pull the Mercy back," Jalen said. Admiral Nira relayed the order. "Their engines are disabled," she said. "Vigilant is moving to retrieve them." Mara studied the enemy communications. "The Sable Accord has not entered the battle." "Where are they?" "Still behind the interference field." A warning sounded across the bridge. The Accord emerged. Its ships came through the wreckage in complete silence, black hulls reflecting the fires around them. They had waited until the Dominion and Karad weakened one another, and now they moved against both. Their first weapons discharge struck the Dominion flagship. A beam of dark energy crossed the corridor and cut through the outer armor of Voss's dreadnought, opening a section of the ship to space. High Admiral Voss appeared on every military channel. "The Accord has betrayed us. All Dominion vessels redirect weapons." The Dominion formation split. Half continued firing upon the Karad. The other half turned toward the Accord. The Karad attacked both. 3 armies became 6 battles, then 20, as individual commanders lost contact with their central fleets and began firing at whichever vessel appeared nearest. The Epharan ships remained near the edge of the corridor. "Commander," Nira said, "this is our opportunity to withdraw." Jalen looked toward the tactical display. The route back to Ephara remained open. Every military instinct told him to take it. The enemy was distracted. The colony could reinforce its orbital platforms, repair the Mercy, and prepare for whichever fleet survived. Mara looked toward him. The word said to take our position. "We have taken it." It also said to stand. Nira turned on her. "We are standing in the middle of a war between 3 empires." Mara did not shrink from her. "And Ephara still stands." Nira looked toward Jalen. "You cannot allow a sentence spoken in a crowded hall to outweigh the lives aboard these ships." Jalen said nothing. A transmission entered the bridge from the Vigilant. Captain Lisa Saul appeared on the screen. Blood ran from a cut near her temple. Half the lights in her cockpit were gone. "Mercy is secured," she said. "We have taken their survivors aboard. Elias Voss is wounded but alive." Jalen closed his eyes briefly. "Thank you, Captain." "Sir, enemy fighters are crossing into our sector. We cannot remain here without engaging." Admiral Nira stepped toward the display. "Lisa, return to the fleet." A Dominion cruiser exploded behind Lysa's fighter, flooding her cockpit with white light. "I am trying, Mother." The channel ended. Nira's face changed at the word, though only for a moment. Jalen reached a decision. "Move the fleet." Nira looked at him. "Toward Ephara?" "No, through the corridor." Every officer on the bridge turned toward him. "The safest position is no longer behind us," Jalen said. "The enemy formations are collapsing inward. If we retreat, whichever fleet regains control will pursue us. We move through the center while they remain divided." Nira stared at the tactical projection. "That route passes between 2 Dominion dreadnoughts. It also places those dreadnoughts between the Karad and the Accord." A faint understanding entered her expression. "You intend to use their firing lines." "I intend to go where we were told to stand." Nira studied him for another second. Then she turned toward the crew. "All ships forward. Tight formation around the medical vessels. Fighters remain close. Do not engage capital ships unless directly threatened." The Epharan fleet accelerated. They entered the battlefield. Wreckage moved around them like a storm. Pieces of ships larger than buildings rotated through the darkness, some still burning internally. Escape pods drifted between them. Damaged vessels fired blindly through clouds of debris. Fighters crossed so close to the Resolute's hull that their engine trails illuminated the bridge. Jalen felt every impact against the battleship. The Resolute's defensive guns fired continuously, destroying missiles and cutting down fighters that came too near. A Karad vessel attempted to ram the fleet, its broken hull opening like the jaws of a beast. The Epharan cruiser Deliverance moved into its path and fired into the creature's exposed interior. The Karad ship burst apart. Its fragments struck the Deliverance across the port side. The cruiser began losing altitude relative to the formation. "Deliverance is venting atmosphere," Mara said, engine power dropping. "Send 2 corvettes to stabilize them. We will lose formation integrity. Then we will tighten around them." The fleet slowed. A Dominion weapons beam crossed ahead of them, missing the Resolute by less than 300 meters and striking an Accord destroyer. The destroyer broke apart, but its final missile volley continued toward the Dominion dreadnought on the opposite side. The missiles struck its forward cannon. The resulting explosion tore through several decks. Jalen saw the path opening. Full power, the Epharan ships moved between the wounded giants. For several minutes, they seemed almost invisible. Every enemy commander had larger threats to address. The Mercy's transmission continued through the Resolute's communications array. The Singers now gathered in a medical bay around the wounded. "Give thanks to the Keeper, for he is good." Their voices traveled across the war. His mercy endures forever. Then the largest Accord vessel changed course. The black dreadnought emerged from behind a field of wreckage, its hull wider than the Epharan capital district. Weapons ports opened along its underside. Energy gathered at its center, forming a sphere of darkness that bent the light around it. Mara's display filled with warnings. "It is targeting us. Evasive pattern," Nera ordered. "There is nowhere to evade," an officer said. "Its firing radius covers the entire fleet." Jalen stared at the enemy vessel. The Accord dreadnought had waited through the battle, preserved its weapons, and chosen Ephara as its final target. A transmission entered the Resolute. An Accord commander appeared beneath a silver mask. "Your signal created this disorder," the commander said. "Your world will answer for it." Jalen stepped toward the screen. "We created nothing. You transmitted military intelligence between fleets." "We transmitted a song." The silver mask tilted slightly. "Then your Keeper has poor regard for the lives of your enemies." Jalen looked beyond the commander's image at the burning corridor. "No," he said, "our enemies had poor regard for one another. The song only revealed what was already inside them." The Accord weapon reached full charge. Admiral Nera gripped the command rail. "All defensive power forward." "It will not be enough," Mara said. "I know." The Epharan fleet turned its remaining shields toward the dreadnought. Jalen watched the darkness gather at the enemy cannon. He thought of the Hall of Assembly. "We do not know what to do. Our eyes are upon you." The weapon fired. At that same instant, the crippled Dominion flagship emerged from the wreckage behind the Epharan formation. High Admiral Voss had detected the Accord's energy buildup. Believing the weapon aimed at him, he discharged every remaining cannon. The Dominion barrage struck the Accord dreadnought from the side. The dark energy beam shifted. Instead of passing through the center of the Epharan fleet, it cut across the upper hull of the Resolute and continued toward the Dominion flagship. Both dreadnoughts struck one another with their most powerful weapons. The Accord vessel split along its center. The Dominion flagship disappeared inside a sphere of white fire. The shockwave reached Ephara's ship seconds later. The Resolute rolled violently, lights failed, officers were thrown from their stations. The forward window darkened automatically as debris hammered against the hull. Jalen struck the floor. For several moments he heard nothing but the ringing inside his skull. Then emergency lights returned. Mara's voice rose through the darkness. "Commander." Jalen forced himself onto one knee. "What remains?" Mara stared at her display. Her face had gone pale. Nothing organized. Across the corridor, the surviving enemy ships had broken formation. Some fled toward the jump gates. Others drifted without power. Several continued fighting in isolated groups, but no central fleet remained. Admiral Nera stood slowly and looked through the forward window. The 3 armies that had come to erase Ephara were gone. Not every ship had been destroyed, but their alliance, their command structures, and their ability to continue the invasion had collapsed. The Epharan fleet remained, damaged, bleeding, but alive. From the resolute speakers the song continued, "His mercy endures forever."